When you start with better ingredients, better pizza, you also get better.
Welcome to
Hi, welcome to Cutscene. If you're doing this right, you're about to meet three assholes at the Edgerunners gave Cyberpunk. I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to Cutscene by I Beat It First.
I be a first. I be a first.
Why is this joke not getting old yet?
And now you too can have cyberpsychosis.
I already had
crazy
cyberpsychosis.
It's a crazy serious anime, and it's like rife with nudity, violence, adult themes, and we're just sitting here be like, "Oh, you know, psychosis going on over here." It's just ridiculous to it.
Oh, look at the Edgerunners.
Yeah, Edgerunners with the QC psychosis.
I guess the joke hasn't gotten old because it's been a month since we did the last episode of this. Basically.
That's true. We kind of haven't been here for a while, so.
Well, we haven't been.
Which is crazy.
Here.
Yes, here
in Cutscene.
In Cutscene podcast.
Well, technically, we were in Cutscene.
We're all happy.
But that episode is dead.
Yeah, technical issues and drunkenness.
It had cyberpsychosis.
The drunkenness didn't have anything to do with it. That's the funny thing. Okay. All right.
That's true.
So if you're looking at this, and we had Edgerunners 1 through 4 as episode 99, and then suddenly you're like, why does it say episode 101? Cyberpunk Edgerunners 5 through 7. This doesn't make any sense. That's because we had a special edition that we did. The Bulldog Omega was here in town, went up to the Larson Convention Center with us, got shithoused with us, and maybe a little baked, maybe a lot baked. And we recorded a 4-hour episode that 3-hour episode that 20 minutes in, a desync happened between my microphone and the software, and literally all you could hear was chirping. Which there was a joke in there to be made about all that Jason ever hears when I talk is a fucking chirp anyways, and he doesn't pay attention to anything that there is. And I was gonna be like, well, you know, like blah blah blah, and just run with that joke, except for one problem. We did too good of a job with our microphones, noise gating and stuff like that, so you couldn't hear anything that I said picked up by any of the microphones, except for maybe every once in a while when I got real loud. And that was it. Like, we did too good of a job, and that ended up fucking us hardcore in the back. Because it would have been fine, like, if Jason's mic just picked up my audio, and it was just like everything that I said was echoey, and we're like, fuck it, deal with it, people. But no, there's so many things that were said, and I was the one running the bracket.
Yeah, you're emceeing, and we didn't have any way. So you just hear Bull, myself, and Chris just start making inane comments about whatever randomness that you have nothing to know about.
Some waifu.
Hear what it was talked about.
Some waifu, because you guys didn't even repeat the names most of the time. No, I was the one saying the names.
Yeah, you would say the names, and we would just immediately go into debate mode, and it was just like, no idea what you're talking about. And,
yeah,
dude, that's half the fun. You gotta be a detective, figure out who the waifu is.
Yeah. Well, so that mixed in with the random chirping, it was not worth it.
So we have a full bracket, a full bracket of waifu that we debated on and we went over, and we have a number one waifu. But we're not telling
64
you
waifu bracket.
Yeah, 64 waifu bracket. And technically more waifus than that entered the ring. We actually had like a huge list, and then we all argued for like a solid like 20 minutes to whittle down like extras off of it. And we're like, well, We'll just start removing duplicates. They're like, well, this one's better than this one. We're like, I don't give a fuck. Everyone just decide. You 3 vote. I'm like, I don't care. We just decide who it is that stays, and we go. So we will have to re-record that episode. Sans as much alcohol as we drank. God, we went through... Okay, so we went through 3/4 of a handle of bourbon, an entire bottle of sake.
A bottle. Yeah, a bottle of Bull's bourbon, too.
Yeah, almost all of that bottle. So 3/4 of like a regular bottle of bourbon. We bought the old-fashioned.
The old-fashioned
so
bottle
we went through
as
a
well.
750 of old-fashioned. Some beers that we brought. Some beers that you bought at the brewery on our way up to the Larson Convention Center.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You totally forgot about those.
Yeah.
Black Horse.
A bunch of Mick Ultras that got brought up there with us as well, and then promptly left up there so that they were no longer in my fridge, because I don't want those things in there. So we got shithoused, to say the least. And the shitty thing about that audio is, like, I sat there and I was listening to it. I'm like, oh yeah, this audio came out great. It's like, fuck yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm just skip forward. And I'm like, what the fuck is that sound? But I skipped forward like an hour in, and then I had to go back through, and it was like 19 minutes and 30 seconds in. It just turned to chirping. I'm like, oh, fuck. Jason came up, and I was like, I'm so fucking pissed off. It's like, what? It's like, maybe it's repairable. I played it for him. He's like, well, that's not repairable.
We sat there for an hour just
fiddling,
roundhousing ideas,
talking,
and tiddling with it, and
everything.
Yeah, it's a good episode, but maybe we'll make it part of our non-existent Patreon, where it'll be like, hey, if you want to listen to the original, the cutting room floor of our podcast.
If you want to get ear fucked for over 3 hours of just hearing inane drunkenness and a non-coherent chirping.
I can't think of
That
a better
wasn't
reason
for
to
me.
use Patreon than that. It's just like, hey, not only are we gonna require you to pay for money, but then it's like the worst quality shit you can possibly have.
Actually, the rest of the recording quality is pretty damn good. Not gonna lie.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you're not gonna enjoy this. Like,
I'm so pissed because we did such a good job noise gating everything out. Because one of the things that we always complain about, and that people complain when we do some of these, is we're all together in a room, and our mics pick each other up when we're doing it. And we spent a solid 20 minutes noise gating and testing everything out. But because we don't have a producer that's listening the entire time, nobody noticed it, because the meter on voice meter was still moving up and down, looking like I was talking. So I just kept glancing back. I'm like, okay, everything's working. Continue going while they're all talking. It was a comedy of errors. Then that monitor that I could not get to work as well. I don't know what was up with that monitor.
It was the first sign. We should have taken it as a sign. We
should
press forward. We still had fun. We still had a lot of fun and got stuff done. I think this does speak volumes, though, to we need to have our theme when we're up there, because when we don't have a theme, we don't announce when we're changing a drink or having a new drink. And what happens is we just nonstop drink.
We did announce, though. We talked about the weird, what the hell was that? Cookie. The cookie whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
The cookie dough whiskey. We talked about the sake that we were drinking. We just didn't talk about every time that we poured another 3 fingers of bourbon.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
We just
did
did it.
Once you finish a drink, you gotta get a new one. So you announce it and you talk about it. This one's just like, I'm having this 750 milliliters of whiskey right now. Now I'm moving on to something else. You're just like, wait, did you just drink that whole bottle?
Maybe.
I'm not driving.
Where'd this handle go? I don't know.
Didn't we have 3 of these? No.
No, not at all.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
so future episode will become episode 100. We just have to schedule some time with Bulldog and with everybody else of when we can all get together and do another just podcast on maybe another night, or because if it ends up being as long as it was, I don't think I could do a Monday night.
Yeah.
No, or we can discuss on if we want to just do like hey, we did a bracket. Here's voiceovers of the highlights, whatever type of thing. But otherwise,
which I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, because some of them were just slam dunks, or that we don't need to.
Let's be honest, the winner was a slam dunk.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Which kind of pissed me off.
The winner is a slam dunk.
And,
more ways than one.
But I mean, it did and it didn't, because we actually thought for a little bit that the winner was going to have like her work cut out for her, and then we just got to the end and we're like, everything that we've said about this person is amazing, but they still aren't as good as this one. But oh well. Okay, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Okay, so
5 to 7.
Fuck yeah, episodes 5 through 7. So let's see here. Okay, so this one is the abduction of the rich guy, the dad from the school, and
yeah, first it's the hacker, not hacker, the BD file creator guy.
Yeah, the abduction, and they abduct him through that thing. That's what I mean. It's like, so the first one's the abduction. Right, yep. The second one is the interrogation and whatnot. And then the third one is, hey, look at how the shit just hit the fan.
Now I'm all chromed out.
Yeah. Now we're all chromed out, which was going to be the other intro to it is three assholes who are all chromed out. So yeah. Okay, so where do we start on episode 5? Like, do you just want to talk about it? Because
yeah, I mean, this is such it's a complex anime, but then it's not a complex anime. It's just like they're constantly just going through whatever they can be most edgy for the Edgerunners. It feels like sometimes, and that is kind of like the theme of Cyberpunk, even the game, where it's just like, hey, nothing really fucking matters. No one gives a shit about you, and your life is only as good as you're much as you're willing to pay. What I did like about this story arc is they really hammered more on the paramedic side of what that is. That, because before this, the only time we really saw them was at the very beginning when his mom died. And they know that like the paramedics would only come for you if you were paying for it. Yeah. Well, then they really hammered the fact that like, no, they're going to come and just like fucking run house until they save you or get you out of danger. Yeah, and that was kind of good. That even like the cops were just like, "Thank God you're here." This is better.
That part was great. Yeah. And then when they were leaving, they're like, "Fuck you! You can't just leave it."
This is your problem now.
The client's already dead. We're out. Peace out, bitches. Have fun.
Yeah, where the paramedics are fucking like the SWAT team, basically.
Yeah, they are your evac unit, literally.
Yep.
I mean, in essence, it's they're PMCs. Like they're directly private military that you're hiring to be like, your evac. And so that's why the cops are there and happy for them, because at the end of the day, it's basically the lolly lule low, if you want to get really into it. And that's what they're there for, and that's all that they care about. They're following the dollar, and that's what they'll do all the time. So it's a really interesting dynamic of how this world really works and how they value life. And it's not life, it's money.
It's money. Everything's money. Life, I mean, even life isn't really life. I mean, they all just augment their bodies as much as they can for the most part and do everything that they can, or they spend all of their life in a digital jerk-off arena, as we've seen previously in episodes as well.
Yep.
So life is weird in the Edgerunners universe. The Cyberpunk.
It's dystopian, would you say?
It's not even dystopian. It's just weird.
It's bleak for sure. And the game hammers on that a whole lot. That's obviously the overarching theme of the game. And here we're just following this one group of people who are, continually failing at being alive. And
are they failing though?
Well, I mean, like the thing that bugs me is that like the hacker dude, not hacker dude, the BD dude was just like, you know how I get these like things that I then modify and sell it to everybody? It's because every single person that gets these military shit goes crazy eventually.
Yep.
And it's happened 31 times. It's just like, okay, you know what? I can see it being like, oh, I know deep secret, you know, the past 3 times it's happened. That's why. She's like, okay, yeah, I get that it's secret. 31 times. 31 times.
And
like,
he's got the videos available on the black market, and people just watch them all the time.
People watch them all the time. So we're just like, oh, good, another one's out here. It's just like that's known. That's not like that's a known issue. And I mean that's where you can be like, well, that's why Arasaka is bad, and that they're evil, and that's why you got to stop them. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, how much meth are you going to smoke before you're just like, oh wait, this is actually killing me? And you know what? I kind of just answered my own question right there.
A lot.
That it's meth.
A lot of meth.
that getting chromed out is meth. That's I think that's what the direction that you can kind of make with that, because you're having to take the beta blockers all the time to make sure that you're like not getting insane already, and then that's probably requiring you to get more
amino
blockers.
Blockers.
This mentality.
Beta blockers are for your heart rate.
Yeah, well, you need that too.
Or immunoblockers, that's it.
Immunoblockers, yeah, they're immuno. And so, you know, and he even said, you know, in the 3rd episode or episode 7, he's just like, I feel more comfortable in chrome than I do on my own skin. And I think the only other people that I know that really want to get out of their skin so bad are meth users. So it's
and heroin addicts.
There it is. Heroin addicts too. Well, they're chasing something. Meth is just like
the dragon.
They want out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as someone that's obviously done meth a crap ton of times,
so much
I
meth.
am very
all the meth.
All the meth.
You're on meth right now.
Like, when am I not? I mean,
the world is meth. Why? How do you think my hair is blue?
Yeah. Why do you think? That's not dye, guys. It's just coming right on out.
I do so much meth that my hair is like blue. Thanks, Walter.
Shit. That's how you know.
That's the good
shit. Exactly. We don't do meth. Don't do meth, guys.
Don't do meth.
No.
Don't
Drugs
do
are
meth.
bad.
Even if Walter White sells it to you. Don't do meth.
Don't do meth.
Don't
the
do
more
meth.
you know. Yes.
The more you know.
While you're not doing meth, be sure to donate to our child or to our everyday.
To our Extra Life charity.
Extra Life.
Thank you.
I want to call it everyday.
Every day.
Every day.
Our child everyday charity. So yeah.
Everyday child.
So they go and they first they try to go after this guy that knows all sorts of shit about augmentations. Like, and the fact that he's able to hack in and get all of these like videos and then also augment them properly so that people can view them and everything without being traced and all that, you would just automatically think that they had, you know, a lot of really good security measures and all that. But no, they had no idea what was going on. They're just like, it's like, yeah, no, we could just ambush him. We just come up from behind and get him. Like,
so you're right, because like they've toted now, especially in these last 3 episodes, that they have 2 of the best net runners like in the city, like Kiwi and oh shit, what's her name? Lucy. And they're just like, there's some of the best ones. They can get all this shit done, and even in like intense situations, they're hacking the turrets and all that bullshit like that. And it's just like they couldn't, like, you know, just look at that guy for 5 seconds and be like, nah, there's a fuck ton of ice on that dude. Like, let's not do this like just like ad hoc. Let's time.
Yeah, no, they just go up. They're like, we're gonna bear hug him and take him with us. Like, what the fuck?
The dude chose to have a golden nose and chin. I think he's done a little bit of protection to himself.
Yeah.
He's literally got eyes everywhere. They just appear.
That was weird.
They just appear everywhere. Like, how do you do that? Oh,
Chrome.
God. Yeah.
That's some Ghost in the Machine type stuff right there when you start really getting into it. But
So he fires off a weird,
like EMP kind of thing.
I was gonna say, like, he fires off an EMP. I don't think they know how EMPs work.
No, they would have stopped the car. They would have stopped him. They would have stopped a lot more stuff.
Well, the EMP, if it was like, if he was encased in a Faraday cage and then it fired off outside, it'd be fine. But like, yeah, like it would have stopped so much more in that area than just them. It was whatever the weird thing is, and I like that they didn't know what it was and they just guessed it was an EMP,
Right.
because yeah, that's not how EMPs work, everybody.
These episodes were really weird in how their direction was in their animation. I felt like the animation was a little bit different on this one. They did a little more art house style, and then for whatever reason, I don't remember them doing this because it's been a while since we watched the first 4 episodes. But they decided that EMP blast needed to have the full John Woo effect of being shown from like 3 different angles, 3 different times. And I was just like, what was the, like, it's not like something amazing. It was just like EMP blast, EMP blast, and I was like, what? What's
I don't know.
going on here?
There was one point where they just had straight up freeze frames in episode 6.
Oh yeah, when he was just
like there's talking and
heavy.
you're like, did my stream just freeze?
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see like a little movement in the background and you're like, no, it didn't freeze. They're still going. Like, okay, sure. Whatever you say. That's always a weird anime thing. But at least in anime, when they're doing that, like that frozen frame where it's like really high quality art, at least they do like a pan on it instead of that. So I don't know.
Budget.
I don't even know if it was budget. It was just weird artistic
It felt,
choices.
Yeah, it felt deliberate that they're just like, no, this is all you're gonna see. There's nothing else to focus on. It's just him frozen.
But it wasn't as heavy-handed as like Excel Saga. So like it seemed like they decided to use different things in each of the episodes, kind of. But at least in Excel Saga, you know that it's like, this one's in the style of a B horror movie. And everything that they have is exactly like a B horror movie. And then an action flick. And then a drama. And stuff like that. So that part made it a little weird. And it felt off, in my opinion, for these first 2 episodes that we watched. Because just the way that they were doing everything and directing it was just a little odd, to say the least.
I always laugh when the future is just like, here's what we're all going to be wearing in the future. And you're just like, I can't wait to be wearing aluminum or a single jumpsuit all the time. This future has us just always walking around naked.
For the most
just
part.
like, why? What is yeah, okay.
Well, because when it's not even really your skin anymore, are you actually naked?
Who cares? Yeah, good point.
Yep.
Good point.
Like, what's her name? The
future's nudist.
The other hacker that wears the mask that just walks around butt-ass naked. But she's all cyber. Like, what is her skin? The skin's underneath. So technically, she's never naked.
True. Never nude. There are dozens of us.
Yep.
Dozens.
Dozens of never nude. We have a convention and everything. It's weird showering in your clothes. Okay. So they catch him. Well, they go to catch him, and then he ends up catching them. He takes main character with him.
Yep.
Which, okay, this part's stupid. All right, they are a mile away from him. Like, he's only a mile away. And yet, by the time that they get there, he's already run through that fucking simulation at least once. And going on to at least his second time, maybe his third or fourth. Who knows how many times he's gone through. Like, how slow were you driving?
I mean, you don't know where he went.
They also had to figure out where he was.
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
they were following him.
It's like,
they knew.
Yeah, but...
They knew exactly where his
No,
head was.
they end up tracking, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tracking it. If you go into a building, because it's top down, if you go into a building that's 60 floors, all you see is the dot that's
But
in
he
the center
still
of the
had to
building.
go up those 60 floors.
But you don't know where he went. That's all I'm saying. He goes in the building, goes somewhere. That's all I'm saying. You know he's in the building. I agree with you, Eric. It's like, how,
because
what were you doing?
then when they showed them getting there, they basically just got there.
Yeah, they bust down the door and it's like, freeze, motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's like he's already gone through it multiple times. Like we had that whole scene and everything like that. Like it would have been more believable if he went through the whole scene and then they busted in. Like at that point, I would have thought it believable. We didn't need the scene of them getting there and going to the door and getting ready to go in. And Lucy's all pissed off and angry because he took her boyfriend and everything like that.
Gonna take my man.
Yeah, we didn't need that. We already saw that she was
I
pissed.
installed a tracking app on his phone so I can follow him.
Yeah,
Right.
how's that for creepy as hell?
Ain't no bitch gonna be texting my man.
You hook up once, and she basically gives him digital herpes.
You low jacker, man.
She's like, "Oh fuck no." So yeah, so they go off. That's when he gets thrown into that whole cyber psychosis thing, which is kind of so. The cool thing is that he got a chance to feel what cyber psychosis was like. Kind of, not quite the same though, because when we see cyber psychosis in the next episode, that shit's fucking weird.
Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild trip of watching Maine go down the route of that.
Just a fast, deep descent.
Yeah, and kind of like in the way that the JR or JK, whatever his name was, described it. It's just like everyone thinks they're special until they're not, and they don't know, and you don't know until you don't know, and then you're just gone and insane. Yeah, and we're lucky that Maine had that brief moment of lucidity, at the end there when he set up the pyre of explosives and his girlfriend on it and stuff like that.
Was it even lucidity though? That's the weird part. Is because you thought that like his vision had come back, and then they show again, and he's still seeing it. He's still seeing that it's in there, and he still only sees like this weird blob. But
he knew it was David. He knew it was David.
Yeah, because he said he heard his voice, and he was at least coherent enough to know not to kill David.
Right.
But then seeing the explosives as just tree branches that he then was going to set the pyre off on. Did he really know that he was piling on explosives? And I really wanted to know what the fuck was going on in his memory.
With him, when he showed him as a skinny kid running towards in the desert.
He's just out running. That's it.
So,
I was hoping that we were going to get like some good, deep introspective of like some of his past before he died, and we got nothing.
In the game, being out in the desert like that, you don't leave the city often. And, if you're out in the outskirts, it's usually because you're a reject or you're trying to be a nomad or anything like that.
Which is kind of what they alluded to in episode 7.
Right. So, I mean, that whole like mentality is like, and he was tiny, obviously. So it was him reaching the end of the runway in the desert. And then that's whatever prompted him to go back into the city and become chromed up and all that jazz like that. So I think the only thing that I really took from it is seeing him as just like a small kid, like was just like, this is David. And now David's on the exact same path. And it's just like, how are we going to now differentiate that in the next 3 episodes?
True. We know for a fact that nothing, because during the initial part of episode 5 where they're trying to get him to take the hands of what's her name's brother, and he's like, no. He's like, I want your arms instead. It was like, oh, there's foreshadowing right there. When I kick the bucket, you can have my arms. I'm like, oh, shit.
I like in how, like, in that very emotional, like, scene where he's just like, I'm here, I'm going to stand up for you, I'm going to defend you. And he's like, well, you're good at running, so run, because I'm about to blow this motherfucker down. He's still just like, oh, shit, everything is exploding. I'm going to grab them arms, though.
I was just laughing as I'm watching it. I'm like, of
These
course,
are mine now.
He's clutching the arm. He told him, it's like, when I die, you get this arm.
I was kind of like, was there a baby in there? Did he just save someone else? Who else would he have saved? And he was just like,
he saved his property, goddammit. His property. That belongs to him now.
He said I can have that.
Yeah. It's his verbal will.
Like literally, like nuclear explosion going on. All of the like soldiers are like disintegrating, like ribs exploding out of everywhere and stuff like that. He's screaming like, "Oh my god!" And he's just like, "Disassemble arms, stuff it in my pocket,
run to my girlfriend."
Don't worry, honey. Don't worry. Our team's all dead. but I got some arms now.
It's gonna
Let
be
me
all
put them
right.
on my body so that you can remember that my involvement with this team killed everyone you love. Enjoy that.
It's like that scene in Happy Gilmore. It's like they killed all of our teammates, but I got his fucking arms.
Oh my god.
I got that some bitch's eye. Oh man. So I'm waiting for the next one. It's like he took your arms. I got his head. That type of thing.
This but a scratch.
Yeah, it's a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound. Do we know where this fits in? Like, do we know where this fits in story-wise? Like, timeline and whatnot from the game? Is this happening all before?
All before, yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought I remembered hearing because of the big bad Mamma Jamma, Adam or whatever.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like, he's in the game, and supposedly, I have a feeling we're gonna see him, since they've already
why would you talk about him? And
they talked him up so much. We're probably gonna see him coming up in the near future in this next batch of 3, so we'll find out. So they kill the guy, the CEO of Arasaka. CEO? Was he the CEO or just a big?
No, I think he was just a higher up.
Yeah, he was VP. He was
he was a VP,
execs. Yeah.
And he was the kid that he beat the shit out of. And I loved that they talked about when they went to, like, when they actually caught him, of like, my son gets out of the hospital today, so I don't need the special treatment. Just give me the give me the thing. It's like,
give me the regular smut.
Yeah,
just give me the regular smut. I don't want.
I just want to get off. I don't need to get off. I just want to
just want a piece. Just want a little. Yeah.
I just want a taste. Just a taste of it. That's it. That's all we need. And yeah, so they get him. They dive into him. And Lucy finds, like, she says that there's nothing there, but she finds a video of David in there, a main character, and she, like, scrambles it and erases it, I guess.
Yeah, she killed the exec, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that what happened? That she killed the exec?
Yeah, because I mean, when his neck, like, popped, like it was a short circuit type thing. And so the whole point was to have them. And when they were like, yeah, we resuscitated him because, you know, the medics are on the way. She was like, what? Why would you do that? You know, because she obviously was like trying to cover something up. So there's definitely something more here that we'll find out more about, that she's probably going to sacrifice herself. I'm more convinced now than ever that they're all going to die. Like, it's just like the Rory on that pace. Pretty good here.
You're probably not far off that everyone's going to die. But we'll have to wait and see in the next 3 episodes then. It's still like, I don't like that this is only 10 episodes.
Yeah, no talks of a season 2 either, which is another, they're all going to die.
Well, because I guess with a season 2, that would mean that they would have to add more before or during the game, because obviously
it wouldn't be that hard. The game does cover a large span of time, like, so it's not like it's like a weekend, one night in San Antonio or San Andreas, whatever it is. And but so they could easily
one night in Night City,
and then one night in Night City type thing. But and I mean, they may still do it, but I would love to see Johnny, whatever his name is, you know, Keanu Reeves.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny
Silverhands.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Silverhands. Thank you. Love to see, even, like, not as a character. Like, I would like, his is the game totally, but like if he went to a concert and it was like Johnny, like that, just that nice little kickback of just being like, there's a bigger world here. Johnny was a part of it, and it would kind of give you more of the thing. I don't know. That's my bit.
Which would be cool. Okay, so we talked about Maine dies. His girlfriend dies. The one to Chris's right that normally has her boobs hanging out. I don't know why that picture has her wearing like some like half.
There technically are.
Top.
That's pretty much she's wearing pasties basically the entire time.
Yeah, but she's normally like it's just straight up boob. That's
Yeah,
what's
normally,
like.
yeah.
There's not normally there. I mean, unless that's just shadow, in which case, okay. Like that's weird shadowing. But anyways, yeah. So let's see here. So we'll go through the list. Dead. I can't see who all is behind
Lucy
Chris,
and David.
but I think that's Lucy and David. Yeah,
oh, yeah, Lucy and David. Yeah.
Got her still alive. Wasn't there until episode 7 for some reason, and got her shit fucked up in episode 6. But is still alive in episode 7. So we go to episode 7, and episode 7 is
a time jump.
But it's not that long of a time jump.
No, but it's enough for him to not only get chromed up like crazy, but then establish himself as the leader of the group and like be able to start recruiting and be respected enough to like have people come in. So it's more than just them doing one job.
Yeah,
like, it's obviously that it's been.
And you would think that it was a longer time jump than it is, but it's only literally a matter of weeks.
I'm gonna say a year. I'm gonna say it was.
You think a year?
He looks a little older too. I mean, granted, it's all chrome, and he's taller, not because
his body's
growing,
all yoked and whatnot.
But it's definitely. I think it's been time, just because it makes me feel better just knowing that because I mean, just the sheer amount of recovery time from surgery for all that he did.
Yeah, I know that was the weird part. Okay, so the time skip in Cyberpunk Edgerunners was not really given an exact time frame in the anime. However, we have an idea that the time skip should not have been more than 2 years. So they could have. I mean, a year or so is still a sizable time jump, which that's a long time for Lucy to not be in the gang too.
Right. I mean, she's living with David or whatever, and so they're obviously still in connection, but her not wanting to be part of the jobs makes sense. I mean, whatever, trauma, yada yada yada. Everyone she knows died because of decisions.
True. Okay. Yeah, so that's so it's about a year to 2 years, roughly. Somewhere in there is this big time jump, which kind of sucks because they could have done a little bit more in that area then.
But not for a 10 episode stint. Like if they wanted to make this,
it would have been an 11 episode, maybe a 12, because there would have been a grieving process within it, and then him going like, "I'm gonna get all fucking chromed up."
Yeah.
And
chrome me up, daddy.
Yeah. I will say that the scene where they go in and do basically a real game mission, where they go into the random hideout of whatever rival gang and take everybody out. That one of my favorite scenes of this entire anime so far is when he fought the big guy, and they show it like in his vision, where he's just like, all right, I'm gonna move. Oh crap, he's chromed out a little bit too, and he could see me dodging, making decisions, shooting. It was just like, whoo, that was like a good 30-second like interval. And then right after that, they just show it in real time. I was just like, boom. Okay, that was kind of cool. That was really kind of cool. And I was like, whoop, bam. And then the dude was like, yeah.
And nobody knows that he had basically the exact same augmentation as him.
Well, or something similar that was at least able to get him closer, because he wasn't as fast. He was just able to notice him, so he was faster.
No, because his hammer then started moving in faster time. So he was able to move faster too. But because he had his leg augmentations and everything like that, that's when then he jumped up, ran across, and he was still in a slower like timepiece within it, and then shot him in the back of the head. But yeah, watching that scene was cool, like just how everybody else saw it, and you're just like, shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, he just fucked that guy up. Like, well, it was actually kind of close. We slowed time down.
Yeah, nobody knew but him. Like
Yep.
Yeah, he never even had to say anything. He's just like, whatever. It's like, yeah.
I'm the best there ever was.
Yep, I'm the best there ever is, motherfucker. And
I'm
then
special.
Poor Jose,
I'm a special age one.
Whoever that kid was.
Yeah.
That poor kid that just idolized it. He was like, yeah, we did it. He's like, no, watch out for it. Boom. Splat. Just body parts everywhere. That part was fucking hilarious. I was just like, oh, yep, nope, that checks out. That checks out. Dumbass kid that didn't know what he was getting into. Probably never fired a gun before in his life. And I like that they were talking to like the mom or whatnot after that. She's like, I told him he wasn't ready for it, but he wouldn't listen. Well, now he's dead. Oh well. Oh man. So then we get the backstory for Lucy. In which case
that she is a conscript to hack into the old net, the before Cyberpunk,
the before times,
the before Edgerunners time,
the edgy Edgerunners, the edge of the Edgerunners. So yeah, her and like a bunch of
the Weasel Net wanna.
Yeah,
trying to dial into the 58.8 and get into the old net.
Oh my god, yeah, I could just imagine it being like the movie Hackers. Oh my god, it's got a 28.8 kbps modem. I want to have its babies.
The entire world will be saved by this 1.4 megabyte floppy disk.
I mean, the entire world still technically could be saved by a floppy disk. Let's be honest.
Especially with Mozart's Ghost.
Yep.
Can definitely happen.
Exactly. So, so her and a bunch of other kids were raised, which I have a feeling that because of the fact that she didn't watch everybody die, that we're going to get somebody else appearing later on, like within this next 3 episodes as well, too. So, like, it's bad.
He'll have his physical battle. Yeah. He'll have his physical battle and she'll have her digital battle, and they'll be battling together at the same time, doing back and forth, and yeah.
It's going to be something like that. But man, yeah, she is dark. Like at the end of that, when she hunts down that other edge runner that's out there and just fucking annihilates him, and her eyes are all red, and there's something else going in there, and we still don't know exactly everything that she saw for David, other than the fact that they had surveillance footage of him. So we'll have to find out more on that. But that's it. It's a little bit shorter as far as our talk on the anime because there's only 3 episodes. And a lot of it's just action. And we can't be like, and then he jumps over this way and he goes boom, 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 and bam, and boom, and explosions and all sorts of shit. Like, we're just talking about the anime. There's blood and guts everywhere. It's mayhem.
And boobies.
And boobies. And boobies. Oh yeah, and
Best Girl.
So Lucy got adjusted as well.
Yeah,
because her body was completely different too. So she's gotten additional augmentations and stuff like that. And I like that they're both just walking around their penthouse apartment, just butt ass naked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said it best.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
are they naked?
When you're not even in your skin anymore, then are you even concerned about it? So
you paid good money for that.
You paid good money for that.
You wanted to look that way. If you wanted to look that way with clothes on, then you would have made yourself look that way with clothes on. But no, you wanted to look that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk around naked. Yeah, I guess we didn't talk about how the other girl is like just going heavy-handed trying to seduce him.
Heavy-handed because she got hand augmentations and now she's got big hands.
And she's got her brother's hand augmentations.
No, those things were like giant and like clunky. Her brother's ones were the thin,
that's
golden ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Tech hands.
But yeah, she is heavy-handed trying to get into his pants. Which I think part of it is because he's just aloof and he doesn't care, and she's like, well, now I want him more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love
being
that
loud and obnoxious. I'm all out of ideas.
I love it when she say, she's like, maybe I should just be broody and loner.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so that's it. That's episodes 4 through
tight.
7. We've got episodes 8 through 10 for the next episode of cutscene. At which point then it's.
This is my pick.
Oh, it's Chris's turn.
Edgerunners is my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Chris's turn. So then Chris is going to pick the next anime on the next episode.
Woo.
Which means he has to do some actual thinking.
Yep.
And I haven't even looked at the calendar to verify like days that this is going to be on.
Oh yeah, geez,
that's the Monday before Thanksgiving.
It is, yeah.
Right, so I think we're still good. Yeah, we're still good. We don't have anything spatial.
Yeah,
we really technically should be. There shouldn't be anything that really interrupts our for the holidays.
Yeah,
because all of the holidays are on the weekend this year.
Yeah, and like Christmas parties for companies and whatnot are all going to be on weekends, so we shouldn't have any major problems with it. Like nobody really ever has any Christmas parties on the weekdays, so I think we're good.
Especially not on Monday.
Monday.
Not on a Monday.
Especially.
All right.
Especially Edgerunners.
Well, Jason, go ahead and blog roll us out, biatch.
Word. Hey, you. Yes, you. If you're here and listening to us, guess what? We love you. Thank you for spending your time with us, as horrible of a choice it may have been. You are listening to Cutscene, which is our anime podcast. If you didn't know that after listening to us balk about anime for the last hour, you're our kind of friend. And we love having you here with us. What does our anime podcast have to do with anything else? Well, it's because we have an entire network of podcasts for you. We have three podcasts for you to love and consume. You're listening to Cutscene right now. We have our main podcast, which is the I Beat It First podcast, where I Beat It First. So we have our I Beat It First podcast, which covers video games, texts, nerdy shit, news, and stuff like that. Everything basically but anime, a little bit anime too. We then also have Patch Notes, which is where we pull in indie game developers into kind of a corner and make them sit with us and talk to us about everything but their game. Also their game too, but mostly about what makes them tick and about their whole style and wanting to do video game design, which is really kind of fun and interesting to get into. Everyone asks what game developer is doing. We ask how game developer is doing. So it's a lot of fun there. Check those other things out, other podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts, or at our website, ibeatitfirst.com. You can go straight to the podcast. We're just going to ibif.co. That's ibif.co, or ibeatitfirst.com, which has all of our podcast information and who we are and all that good stuff like that right there on our site. While you're on our site, be sure to click on the charity tab and check out all of our stuff that we do for charity. We are predominantly doing all of this pretty much really just for charity. I'm not going to say we're not profit because we have to make a profit first, but we're not quite doing it for that. On the charity tab, you can look at our Extra Life information, and for a charity that we did this last weekend was actually streaming day for Extra Life. If you didn't know, we did our 24-hour stream, the three of us here in my room, which is tiny, and we cranked it out as a team with all of our other people that have joined us in part of the I Beat It First network. We raised over $5,000 for Phoenix Children's Hospital and part of the Extra Life network. So really awesome, crushed all of our goals, and that's still open for the rest of the year. So if you want to continue to help us get on in there, please check that out and donate whatever you possibly can as you wish. If you don't feel like giving up money, you can definitely do it also through our Throne. We have one of our only charity Throne accounts out there where anything you buy on the Throne is actually going to be delivered directly to Phoenix Children's Hospital. They have a whole lot of stuff on there that is going to be going for kids. They do like a little mini store with Monopoly money and stuff like that for kids that are there in the hospital, because why not bring joy to kids in the hospital? They're not there for fun. So let's give them a little bit of fun that we can. And this is a way to do that. The anything you buy on the Throne does not come to us, does not touch us, doesn't even get to be looked at us, no matter how cool the thing is. It goes straight to them. Really cool setup that Eric did to do with directly with Phoenix Children's Hospital. So good job on that. While you're at our website and donating to all of our causes and all that good stuff like that, if you want to send us an email telling us how awesome we are, you can do that as well by anything you really want at ibeatitfirst.com. Chris, Jason, Eric, Charity, Cutscene, whatever, at ibeatitfirst.com. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you think about this anime, what we think about past animes, because why aren't you listening to all of our old animes, duh, and what animes we should watch in the future. Chris has to make an important decision here in the next 2 weeks. Why not send him an email and tell him that he needs to watch some absolutely horrible Ichi shit. So
some 5-star anime.
Some 5-star anime.
5-star anime.
Obviously, of course, like, subscribe, all that bullshit to all wherever you can find your podcast. Let us know what you think, what we're doing. And, you can find, like I said, wherever you want to find podcasts, you can find us there. You can also find Chris and Eric streaming quite frequently over throughout the weekdays at twitch.tv/IBeatItFirst. You're watching us live right now, maybe on Twitch, and that's great. We do our podcast pretty much every Monday there live too, if you want to see our horribly ugly faces, because we are not
horribly ugly faces.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Thanks a lot, Jason. For those of us that are watching on Twitch, stick with us and we will be rating out. But we can't end any podcast without Chris saying,
Bye-bye.
like the slow fade.
I can barely hear it at the end. All right. Okay, so we are going to raid out in an oddity. Dreams is streaming Final Fantasy 14, and we don't get to raid into her very often, so we're going to go ahead and raid into Dreamy the Nightmare. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us for I Beat It First and for Cutscene. We will see you guys on Monday, definitely, for I Beat It First, and then we will have some additional streaming days going on this week as well. Probably a little bit more for me. We'll see, because my wife is going out of town. So that usually equates to extra streaming days or Vimeo game days and stuff like that. But thanks a lot, everybody, and we will see you guys later on. Bye-bye.
Bye.